Angel Reese is one of the most confusing players in the WNBA because she is uniquely, in her own way, a flawed yet dominant player at the same time. And when I hear the media talk about Angel Reese and evaluate her as a player right now, they are objectively wrong and everybody is focused on the wrong things, including Angel Reese herself. The perfect example of this is the Rookie of the Year race. The media will have you believe that Angel and Caitlin Clark are neck and neck, with many experts actually choosing Angel to be the Rookie of the Year.
Angel Reese
Rookie of the Year?
She may be Rookie of the Year. She's special.
I give the vote to Angel. I think she's definitely leading in the Rookie of the Year race.
So you'd have to give the nod in my mind to Angel Reese.
But the main argument used is the most flawed. The double-doubles. Angel Reese broke the WNBA record not just for rookies, but for all WNBA players ever for most consecutive double-doubles. Angel Reese leads the WNBA in rebounds with 12.3 per game. That's impressive, but it's even more impressive when you realise that no player has ever averaged more rebounds per game in a season than Angel Reese right now. Likewise for her 5 offensive rebounds, which is by far the most of any WNBA player this season. She leads the WNBA in second chance points and is truly a generational rebounder. Angel Reese this season just broke the record for most offensive rebounds in a season, and soon to be most rebounds in a season of any WNBA player ever. She is possibly already the greatest rebounder in the history of women's basketball. She has a natural, unteachable instinct for where the ball's going to come off the top of the rim, and based on current trajectory, she will retire as the WNBA's all-time leading rebounder. So already she possesses an all-time great skill set, and was good enough as a rookie to make an all-star team, one of just 30 rookies in the history of the WNBA to ever accomplish that. These accomplishments at face value are certainly worthy of Rookie of the Year consideration, but the disconnect between box score watchers and fans who actually watch the game is that a lot of her rebounds are coming from her own misses.
Reese with another rebound, making 18 rebounds. Remember, she's got back-to-back with 20 rebounds. Looking, pursuing. Once again, Reese with the tip, another chance. Reese trying to put it back. Oh!
There are several instances where Reese will miss several easy close to the basket shots and end up with a bunch of offensive rebounds as a result of that, which shows us two things: that Angel Reese, while a great rebounder, also a very poor finisher. Just watch some of these plays and you'll know what I mean.
Leads to a 3-on-1 fast break opportunity. Allen, the give off to Reese. Shortchanged the opportunity. Allen, the give off to Reese. Shortchanged the opportunity.
This is some eye-bleeding hoops. Missing shots is one thing. Taking it inside and getting swatted by a shot blocker, or failing to finish through contact, or even being forced into a tougher shot as a result of good help defense is completely different to what we see from Angel Reese. She is blindly throwing the ball up at the backboard and hoping it goes in. Some of these shots look like somebody who's never played basketball before. No soft touch, no go-to moves to try and offset the defender, no footwork, just brutal strength to try lean in and get as close to the basket as possible and throw it up there hoping it goes in. You never see a post hook, an up and under, a shot fake, just attacking with no idea of how she's actually going to score the ball. And when taking a deeper look at her double-double streak, we need to understand the purpose of a double-double. It's a stat where a player reaches double-digit figures in 2 statistical categories, which has historically been a great indicator for a player's overall impact of the game, and that's why we give it value. But in regards to Angel Reese's streak, yes, the feat of setting the most consecutive double-doubles is very impressive because it's never been done before, but in some of those games, the double-doubles aren't as impressive as you may think. For example, against the Liberty, Reese had 13 points and 10 rebounds on 2 of 9 shooting. Against the Mystics, she had 16 points and 11 rebounds on 5 of 17 shooting. Against Minnesota, 10 points, 16 rebounds, 4 of 6 shooting. New York, again, 10 points, 10 rebounds, 5 of 17 shooting. Phoenix, 11 points, 15 rebounds, 4 of 14 shooting. Against the Aces, 14 points, 11 rebounds on 4 of 13 shooting. These are games where, yes, technically she got the double-double and maintained her streak, but it defeats the purpose of why we value the double-double when you're shooting less than 30% from the field. To compare, Caitlin Clark had several games this season where she fell just short of the double-double. Against Seattle, she had 23 points and 9 rebounds on 47% shooting. She had 23 points, 9 assists and 8 rebounds on 63% shooting against Chicago. 20 points and 9 assists against Seattle again. So while she technically didn't get the double-double in these games, these are objectively more impactful winning performances, and an extra rebound or assist here and there wouldn't necessarily have made her performance any more impressive. We can't ignore that throughout the double-double streak there was blatant stat padding going on too. On several occasions we've seen instances where the game is done and Reese has scraped the double-digit scoring mark by a singular free throw or field goal attempt, got her double-double, and that masks the fact that she was terribly inefficient in that game. Take nothing away from her rebounding, she's already the best in the WNBA, but she's also one of the worst scorers, and she's way too inefficient to take as many shots as she does. On 8 occasions this season, she's taken more shots in a game than points scored. That's inexcusable, and her shooting splits are unprecedentedly bad for a player of her position. Angel Reese is shooting 39% from the field, 45% within 3 feet of the basket, and 47.5% in the restricted area. And these numbers, when compared to every other frontcourt all-star, are absolutely abysmal. Considering 87% of her shot attempts are in the paint, and 60% are in the restricted area, this is a major weakness in Reese's game. The league average percentage in the WNBA on 2-pointers is 49%. This also includes guards, who because of their height disadvantage, are never going to be able to score inside with the same efficiency as taller players. So there's no excuse for Reese shooting 40% on 2-pointers, and her true shooting percentage is even worse. Shooting 47% among all forwards, she ranks 52nd in this category and 113th in the entire WNBA. Now that we understand just how bad she is at finishing the basketball, let's now talk about how bad she is at shooting the ball. Angel Reese has attempted 10 3-pointers this season, she's only made 2, making her a non-threat from the perimeter, and on the season she's shooting 32% from mid-range. To keep it simple, she cannot shoot. But that doesn't mean she can't shoot in the future. One of the main things scouts look for as an indicator of a player's shooting potential is their free throws. And Angel Reese hits her free throws at a high percentage. This season she's shooting 73% from the line, and using a larger sample size dating back to college, she shot 72% at LSU. If you look at her track record, every season she's improved her free throw percentage, so that gives hope and reason to be optimistic that Reese can improve as a shooter throughout her career. And while so many of these numbers are atrociously bad, we can't ignore how scary this makes Angel Reese as a prospect, because for all her deficiencies, she's still averaging 12 points per game, albeit she isn't doing it efficiently, averaging as many shot attempts as points, but she's still finding ways to put points on the board. And has Angel Reese ever given us reason to doubt that she can improve? No. She is somebody who has exceeded expectations at every level. Forget Caitlin Clark, even in this year's WNBA draft, she was taken 7th overall. Her teammate Camila Cardoso was the number 2 pick, and yet Angel Reese is undeniably a top 2 rookie in her draft class so far. So what does a better, more efficient and improved Angel Reese look like? Her rebounding numbers aren't gonna drop off. Maybe offensively if she makes more shots, but she will still be the best rebounder in the WNBA for as long as she plays. And since this skill has clearly translated from the NCAA to the pros, we can use her 2 seasons at LSU to gauge a larger sample size of what her rebounding numbers may look like in the future. If we were to combine the rebounding numbers from her final 2 years at LSU to her 1 season with the Sky, she's averaging 13.8 rebounds per game, which would be the WNBA's greatest rebounding season ever by a considerable distance. If Angel Reese is currently averaging 12.5 points on 39% shooting from the field, let's just say she scores at the same efficiency in the WNBA as she did from her best season at LSU, where she shot 53% from the field. She'd average 16.5 points per game, so just by doing what she's already proved at a younger age she's capable of doing, we're talking about a player who is almost a guarantee for 15 points and 15 rebounds a night. And we talked about her worst games, but what about her best games? Angel Reese has produced some of the most dominant performances in the WNBA this season. Against Connecticut, she had 20 points and 10 rebounds on 80% shooting. Against the Fever, she had 25 points and 16 rebounds on 8 of 12 shooting. 27 and 10 shooting 67% from the field. 19 and 20 against Phoenix shooting 50%. These performances right here are a glimpse of what Angel Reese is capable of doing at her very best. And when she's at her best, she is already one of the most dominant, unstoppable and best players in the WNBA. So once she's able to perform like this more consistently, then you are possibly looking at the most dominant player in the W. In order to sustain this level of play, the number one thing she needs to do is become more efficient. But here's reason to believe she can do that. We previously referenced Reese's shooting splits at LSU as a possible projection. But do you know who else shoots around 53% from the field? The soon-to-be unanimous WNBA MVP Asia Wilson, who right now is in the middle of one of the greatest individual seasons in WNBA history. She leads the WNBA in points, averaging 27.3 per game, and is second in rebounds with 12 per game. Asia Wilson is 28 years old in the prime of her career, but excluding points, when you look at the rest of her stats and compare it to Angel Reese, the production is somewhat similar. While Asia is a significantly better shot blocker, and even when comparing their blocks at the same age in college, Asia averaged almost double, but their steal, assist and rebound numbers are almost identical. And when you take an even deeper look, there's more similarities than you think. Asia is listed at 6'4", an inch taller than Reese. She weighs almost 30 pounds more. But remember, Angel Reese just turned 22. She's gonna get stronger and fill out the older she gets. Something that currently separates Asia Wilson from the rest is that as well as being a dominant two-way paint player, shooting 71% in the restricted area, but over the years as a pro she's developed the ability to stretch the floor, which makes her almost unguardable on offense. Asia Wilson made just 2 3-pointers in her first 4 WNBA seasons. This year she's shooting 41% from 3-point range on just under 2 attempts per game. So she's become a threat from the perimeter who you can't leave open. From her rookie year till now, her free throw percentage has improved from 77 to 87%, and she makes 45% from the mid-range. Of course, Asia Wilson is an anomaly, potential future GOAT of the WNBA. I'm not saying Angel Reese is the next Asia, but as the best frontcourt player in the WNBA, she is the golden standard. And I'm just pointing out that when you compare the two players' numbers from their best season in college and rookie seasons in the WNBA, you can see some similarities. They were both champions at the collegiate level, most outstanding players of the Final Four, both All-Stars their rookie year. They both broke records and made history as rookies. And even in the 2 games versus the soon-to-be MVP this season, Reese held her own, with double-doubles in both games, and even won one of those 2 games against the Aces. All of this gives me reason to believe that Angel Reese has the potential to become one of the most dominant players in WNBA history, and I believe she has the potential to be the MVP of the WNBA. You cannot teach Angel's drive, her determination, motor and energy that she brings to the game. She gives 110% when on the court. Every play she gives it her all. A lot of her weaknesses that are holding her back as a player are the basic stuff that she will develop throughout her career. Her nickname is Angel Relentless Reese, and that relentlessness is what makes her ceiling so high. She has a killer mentality, but at the same time is focused on the wrong things. This season, in attempts to compete with her rival Caitlin Clark, Reese has been fixated on a goal, and that's to get double-doubles, and no matter what, she finds a way to consistently do it. But as she grows older and matures, she'll realise there's more to the game of basketball than just stuffing the stat sheet and chasing awards like Rookie of the Year. In the grand scheme of things, these things don't really mean anything. So when she finally fixates on something else and applies the same relentlessness that she has for the double-doubles into something more productive that makes her a better basketball player, that is when she will fulfill her full potential. Right now she's focused on the wrong things. She wants the double-double, she gets it by any means because her goal is to win Rookie of the Year, and her entire case to win the award is centered around her historic double-double streak. So right now, she's 100% all in on that. But the truth is, the Rookie of the Year race that the media will have you believe is neck and neck, in reality is actually one-sided. It's being sold as a close race, completely manufactured by the media to prop up the Angel Reese-Caitlin Clark rivalry and continue that from college into the pros. The majority of people who watch WNBA games would agree that Caitlin Clark is the Rookie of the Year. She leads the WNBA in assists, is just outside the top 10 in scoring, and is already arguably the best point guard in the WNBA. I don't care what anyone says, she is a top 10 player in the league right now, and not only is she putting up great stats and breaking records, but she's figuring out in real time how to play winning basketball, and that's how the Fever have completely transformed their season and are now looking like a serious contender for the playoffs. Angel Reese hasn't sussed that out just yet. She has tunnel vision. Her primary objective every game is to get the double-double. She's more focused on that than trying to win the game. Whereas Caitlin's objective right now is to win, and she gets her stats within the flow of the game. She isn't chasing a certain point or assist tally, and for now that's the difference. But we need to understand that being the better player as a rookie in year 1 really doesn't matter. So many times we have seen the player that didn't win Rookie of the Year go on to be the best player in a draft class, and although Caitlin Clark will be a tough act to top, I actually think Angel Reese not winning Rookie of the Year would be better for her, because I think she'll be motivated and fueled by it, and Angel Reese's drive and relentlessness to compete with Caitlin is what I believe will take her to heights that she probably wouldn't have otherwise reached. I say all of that to say that Angel Reese, while a very confusing and flawed player, is still somehow one of the most dominant rookies we've ever seen, and that's why the rest of the WNBA should be scared of what she may look like in her prime when she finally figures everything out and puts it all together. But I want to know your thoughts and feedback down below in the comments. In your opinion, who is the Rookie of the Year, and do you agree with my take on Angel Reese that she is one of the most confusing, flawed, yet dominant players in the WNBA? If you've made it up to this point in the video enjoyed, I know you will like this video in the middle of your screen on the WNBA, so click that, watch that, like the video and subscribe to the channel if new around, and on that note is DKM signing out until next time, and peace.